Mangwana ni Malelepo Vukenjani, Klekwa Svanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, your portal into Africa's potent stories. In today's show, Nigeria has formally apologized to Burkina Faso after a Nigerian military aircraft entered Burkinabe airspace with 11 servicemen detained and later released. In the DRC, M23 rebels claim withdrawal from Uvira amid U.S. pressure, though doubts remain. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Ethiopia, signing MOUs and announcing the doubling of scholarships for Ethiopian students. Angola secures $753 million to rehabilitate the Lobito Rail Corridor. Manchester Museum acknowledges major gaps in the origins of its African collection. And Africa Good Morning's videos of the year highlight mental health in Namibia, Dangote's refinery expansion, democracy concerns in West Africa, and Duma Boko's leadership critique. Plus, our correspondents Talent Gore, Mike Sichula, Rorisang Mohojwe, and Ari Hogad share their festive messages as this is the last live Africa Good Morning of the year. My name is Ashwin Berry. Top stories shortly.
Life is unpredictable and one needs to be protected against any eventuality. Get Santam legal access from as little as 50 Namibian dollars a month for when you find yourself in need of legal representation due to civil cases, criminal prosecution, and family matters such as divorce, child maintenance, and custody. It also covers labor disputes, disciplinary hearings, and unfair dismissal or retrenchment. With Santam Legal Access, you'll receive free legal advice on almost every legal aspect, whether the specific matter is covered by your policy or not. For true peace of mind and legal protection when you need it most, call us on 061 292 8000. Santam. This is freedom.
Let's get into our top stories. Nigeria has formally apologized to Burkina Faso following the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military aircraft into Burkinabe airspace, an incident that resulted in the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga confirmed the apology during a visit to Ouagadougou, where he led a delegation to meet Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore. According to Tuga, there were irregularities in overflight authorizations, a situation he described as regrettable. The Nigerian Air Force said the aircraft was en route to Portugal when it experienced a technical problem and was forced to land in Burkina Faso. The incident triggered a diplomatic dispute with the Alliance of Sahel states, which includes Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. The alliance described the landing as an unfriendly act and placed its air forces on maximum alert. Tuga's spokesperson said the detained servicemen had been released and were expected to return to Nigeria, although no timeline was given. Both governments agreed to maintain consultations and strengthen bilateral cooperation and regional integration efforts. In our next story, in Congo, the M23 rebel group says it has begun withdrawing from the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo city of Uvira, pledging to complete the pullout this week after pressure from the United States. The rebels seized the strategic city near the Burundi border days after a U.S. brokered peace deal between the Congolese and Rwandan governments. However, DR Congo's government has cast doubt on the announcement, calling it a diversion that requires verification. Some residents told the BBC they were uncertain whether the rebels were leaving, noting continued movement of M23 trucks within the city. The capture of Uvira drew condemnation from the US and warnings of sanctions against Rwanda, which denies backing the rebels. M23 leader Bertrand Bisimwa said the withdrawal was underway for the sake of peace and urged protection for civilians. Government spokesperson Patrick Muyaya said the claim was meant to distract American mediators. The UN reported dozens killed, over 100 wounded, and more than 200,000 displaced during the offensive. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Addis Ababa has marked a significant step in strengthening relations between India and Ethiopia, with both countries elevating ties to a strategic partnership. The move signals a shift from political goodwill towards deeper economic and institutional cooperation, particularly within the global south. During the visit, Modi highlighted shared civilizational links and expressed commitment to expanding collaboration. On his first day, India and Ethiopia signed 3 memoranda of understanding covering customs cooperation, data center establishment at Ethiopia's embassy, and UN peacekeeping. Modi said the partnership would add momentum and depth to relations, while also announcing a decision to double student scholarships for Ethiopians in India. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed described the meetings as productive and focused on renewed avenues of cooperation. Ethiopia emphasized strong economic performance, rising foreign direct investment, and India's role as a leading source of FDI. Angola has secured $753 million in financing from the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation and the Development Bank of Southern Africa to rehabilitate the Lobito Railway corridor. The funding will support upgrades along the more than 1,300-kilometer railway linking the port of Lobito to Luau on the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo. Planned improvements include track works, signaling systems, workshops, and enhancements to rolling stock. Lobito Atlantic Railways said the upgrades will increase capacity, efficiency, and reliability, strengthening the corridor's role as a key import-export route for minerals. The railway provides the shortest rail link between the DRC's Copperbelt and international markets, boosting regional connectivity. LAR's chief executive described the financing as a major milestone in establishing the Lobito corridor as a premier African trade route. Beyond exports, the railway also serves as an important import gateway, facilitating goods movement into inland markets. The investment is expected to support domestic and regional economic growth across sub-Saharan Africa. In the last of our top stories, Manchester Museum has placed thousands of African objects on display while acknowledging it knows little to nothing about the origins of many items in its collection. The objects taken from storage and exhibited in the museum's Africa Hub are intended to highlight gaps and silences in historical records. Curators said some items were given, others stolen or forcefully taken during the height of the British Empire. In one case, the only known detail about a carved figure of a horse with an ibis is that it was donated in 1976 with no record of its origin or use. The museum said the honest approach is meant to spark discussion about display practices and possible returns. Curator Lucy Edemati described the gallery as a starting point rather than the result of years of research. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. As we said, this is our final live broadcast for the year. We will have episodes for you on Christmas and New Year's. However, we're going to be looking at our videos of the year as we wrap up 2025. Prior to that, let's have a look at the weather. Do check out our social media for weather updates. All we can say for now is 'tis the season. And it's time for us to get into this special segment. Africa Good Morning's videos of the year captured moments where the continent paused, reflected, and in some cases confronted itself. President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah opened one of the most difficult conversations of the year, describing Namibia's rising suicide cases as a national crisis and calling on traditional leaders to step in where silence has failed. That reality flowed directly into Health Minister Dr. Esperance Luvindao's appeal to change how suicide is spoken about, urging responsible reporting, compassion, and the dismantling of stigma around mental health.
A great challenge that has profoundly affected our nation. The ever-rising wave of suicide, particularly among men, young men for that matter. In 2023-2024 alone, 542 lives were lost due to suicide. 1 year, can you imagine? And we know as a country that topping the list, we are now topping the list of suicide in Africa, Namibia. It really worries me what is happening in our community. That's not a record to be associated with. Over the past 3 or 4 weeks, we have lost over 10 lives by suicide. This is not just a statistics. It represents precious lives lost, broken families left behind, and a nation at pain. As traditional leaders, your wisdom, influence, and close connection to the community are vital in helping the government understand the root cause and develop practical solutions.
How we report on suicide is important. How we report on suicide is important. There is responsible reporting for suicide. There is responsible reporting for suicide. It is important. And this is part of health education and health literacy that is sometimes not given. It is important. The details you give, how you give the details, how you give the information. Yes, we want to sell papers, but it's important. It's important. And in every single article, you cannot report on suicide and not provide help at the end of the article. You can't. Because you're telling someone that was on the verge of doing it, or somebody else did it. You can do it. This is how you can do it. And there's no help. We're not offering you help. We're not going to tell you that there's a lifeline you can contact. There's who and who you can contact. We just write and we let it go because we want to sell. And that's dangerous. Reporting on suicide is important, and we need to start training reporters and media on how to report on suicide. It is very important. Director of Ceremonies, the Ministry of Health and Social Services recognizes the urgency of this crisis. We remain steadfast in our commitment to suicide prevention. We are the largest service provider in this critical area. And so, yes, not enough is being done. We take responsibility for that. We understand not enough is being done. Having little awareness campaigns and then posting on social media and saying we are here, that's not enough. It's not enough.
That footage is courtesy of our wonderful reporters at Network Media Hub. Now, beyond reflection, Africa's ambition was on full display as Aliko Dangote announced plans to expand Nigeria's refinery into what would become the largest in the world, a move signaling industrial confidence and job creation on a massive scale.
Under the direction of His Excellency, Mr. President. The key announcement today is that we're expanding the Dangote refinery. We're announcing it officially. We're expanding the Dangote refinery from our 650,000 barrels per day to 1.4 million barrels per day. Actually, we're even a bit late because we had to signed the agreement with the technology licensor, which we're actually expanding this, and we've been doing that meeting since 8 o'clock. So upon completion of this will make it the largest refinery in the world ever. That is surpassing the Jamnagar Reliance refinery in India. This expansion reflects our confidence in Nigeria's future, our belief in Africa's potential, and our commitment to building energy independence for our continent and the world. It is also about confidence in Nigeria, confidence in the leadership of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, confidence in Africa, and in our capacity to shape our own energy future. Why expansion matters? Of course, it is the dream of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for Nigeria to emerge as one of the major suppliers of petroleum products in Africa and part of the world.
In West Africa, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan sounded an alarm over democracy, questioning political developments in Guinea-Bissau and calling firmly for the respect of votes and electoral outcomes.
What happened in Guinea-Bissau, I wouldn't call it a coup. It was not a coup. For want of better word, I would say maybe it was a ceremonial coup. Because for two things, it is the president, President Barrow, that announced the coup. Before later, a military man came up to address the world that they were in charge of everywhere. Then Mbalo has already announced the coup, which is strange. The political class will want the results of the election to be announced. Nobody should take citizens of a country for a ride. People did not go to work. People wasted their time, queued up, voted, and when they are about to announce the result, then you come as soldiers and you scuttle the results. So the political class will never accept that. For you to develop your economy, you must be politically stable. So protocols were changed, and we agree that in ECOWAS, we must not go back to military rule. While we are in Bissau, and this so-called coup happened, the information we got was that the whole country was agitated, young and old, irrespective of religious divide or political divide.
And finally, the standout moment of the year came from Botswana's President Duma Boko, whose blunt critique of leadership culture rejected titles without accountability, rigidity without progress, and comfort without responsibility.
And I must be honest, sometimes you people frustrate me. I must tell you the truth. Sometimes I get frustrated by you, public officers, with your rigidities, your routinized sluggishness, your reticence, your inability to respond instantly, decisively, boldly, objectively to pressing and trenchant problems. Because you recoil and you fall back on what has happened before, regardless of the fact that it has not worked. So sometimes I get frustrated by yourselves. You are too formal. That's why you refer to yourselves as excellencies and all these other titles. I'm just a boy. And I'm a boy to everybody. No formalities, because I want us to focus on the real issues. Appreciating that we are all subject to human frailties, foibles, and fallibilities. We know that. We're human.
Africa Good Morning is proud to have been a platform for these stories, moments that challenged us, inspired debate, and reflected the realities shaping our continent. From difficult national conversations to bold visions for the future, these were the voices and events that defined our year. Let's have a look at the economic indicators. It has been an honor bringing you the stories that shape our continent. As the festive season arrives, we now turn to Christmas and New Year messages from our correspondents, Talent Gore in Zimbabwe, Mike Sichula in Zambia, Rorisa Mkhojwe in Botswana, and Ari Hohad in South Africa, sharing their wishes for joy, rest, and a bright year ahead. My name is Ashwin Bedi, and for the last time live this year, Swera Jaganaka.
Hello everyone, this is Talent Gore, correspondent from Zimbabwe. I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2026. I wish you all the best. Bye.
Hello, this is Mike from Lusaka, Zambia. I wish our NT viewers a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Inontao ni onga zikomo kubantu bonse bane bamatamba NTV. This time niku pasani moni wa happy Christmas and happy New Year. Zikomo kwambili.
Hello everyone. This is Rorisa Mkhojwe, your correspondent from Botswana, and I would like to wish you and your loved ones a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And that simply means I wish you all the best in the coming new year. Enjoy yourself and have a good one.
Africa, good morning. Greetings here from Boshendal. It is historic. It goes back all the way to 1685. It's festive time, it's Christmas time, it's getting closer to New Year time as well, but December is holiday time in Cape Town. So from 1685, it is a historic farm. It's between Stellenbosch and Franschhoek, and for Christmas time it's very popular. This is a Friday evening here with lots of markets and stalls, and there's lots to eat, lots to drink, of course. Brilliant wine that Boshendal also offers, and is very popular for everybody, for locals and for tourists. So this is festive time, and from my side also, specifically for Christmas, for Africa Good Morning, I just want to say from Cape Town, it's a very Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope it's a great festive season, and remember to make time with loved ones. It's a special time to be together in Christmas time. But in Cape Town, it's not just only about Christmas time, it's also New Year coming up, and this is behind me. A nice Friday evening. Everybody can just quiet down, find a place to sit, listen to great music, eat some great stuff, and also drink some great Boshendal wine. So from Cape Town again, this is Boshendal. Merry Christmas, as I said, but also a very happy New Year. Hope it's a great festive season and all the best. And we see you again from Africa Good Morning from Cape Town in 2026. Blessings to all.